Just wrapping up a project here. It's about 10 p.m. on a Sunday evening, Mother's Day, and I just finished rewiring my trailer for a little while, I guess. This project started out as a couple of lights that were burned out. The project escalated from a couple of lights being burned out. All right, I'm gonna fix a couple lights to, you know what, their wiring from the factory of this trailer wasn't that great. Let's pull new wire. Turned into, okay, let's upgrade the cable to the truck to one of these blue cables that are frost and freeze rated for using in the winter, to, okay, let's just paint the toolbox again because it needed some paint. That turned into taking the hydraulics, you know what, let's drain the oil out and clean out the reservoir, and there was a couple metal shavings, let's clean that out. And then turned into, you know what, let's add solar charging to this thing, let's add a bunch of stuff to this trailer, let's do a bunch of stuff. And that turned into kind of learning, let's add an electric jack. So we added an electric jack, a part of this project. And that turned into replacing the hydraulic pump because it had I had actually cross-threaded the wrong thread into the output. And it's been a long time coming, so this is like 2 months of work, but finally done. So really briefly, so the trailer has its own toolbox work light with a switch. There's a voltmeter on the master power switch, so you can keep an eye on battery voltage. There's a NOCO Genius 10 amp battery charger on board. It's actually powered through a wall socket right on the side, an RV power socket right on the side. There is a fuse distribution block for the winch, 400 amp output for the winch, and 275 amp output for the hydraulic pump. There's a small fuse panel with LED indicators that light up when a fuse is blown. I think it's like the jack. The wireless control system. There's a wireless control system with a clicker, raise trailer, lower trailer, winch in, winch out. There's floodlights on the trailer. The floodlights now come on with reverse from the truck. And then you can also turn them on, and they come on manually. So you have the truck or manual mode for the floodlights. There's an electric jack. And then there is this little device here called the Red Arc BCDC 1212T. I'll show you what that does. So it's a charger. So when you plug the truck in, let me show you this too. Running light turn signals, because why not? So the running lights are running lights, and then there's switchbacks to turn signals as well, just for good measure. So I'll show you the other side here. So they're opposite, and yeah, so that works pretty well. So running light, turn signal, switchbacks. The running lights, the switchbacks, the entire side of the trailer switches back and forth between running lights and marker lights or clearance lights, or whatever you want to call them. So this is the BCDC 1212. It's actually a DC to DC battery charger. It takes power from the truck. So newer trucks, this truck has a snowplow prep package, so it still outputs, alternators still pretty much always output 14 volts. And back here it's like 13.2, which is okay. But it's not really enough to charge the batteries properly, and you can see I'm at 13.7, and actually with this charger running, it actually gets all the way up to 14.6. So this charger can output back up to 14.6. It intelligently charges both batteries again back up to full, and then it uses the power from the truck. So if I'm not using the NOCO power, which I'm not, I could actually unplug the NOCO really briefly and show you what this is capable of. But basically this will charge as running down the road. Newer trucks, Ford and GM and all these companies are using these special alternators that actually, when you're running down the road to save gas, you'll go from 14.6 or whatever volts back down to like 12. Well, the problem is all the way back at the back of your truck, when you 20 feet of wire, you're still pushing like 11.5 or so volts. So you're actually draining these batteries off instead of charging them, which is not good. So this unit converts anything from 8 volts all the way up to 30 volts. It converts it to 12 volts or 24 volts if you have it set up that way, but in this case it's a 12 volt charger. So a couple different charging options. If I'm at the house, I'll use shore power. If I'm plugged into the truck, I'll use that. And then this unit here, when it's charging, actually has an LED output. I'm still working on getting this LED here wired up, but this green LED will shine back up into my mirror so I know that the trailer's fully charging or charging correctly off the truck. I gotta hook this wire up yet. So I guess I'm not done, but I'm pretty close to being done and tired of this project. And the wiring diagram is here now, in the trailer. God forbid I ever need that again. But yeah, it turned out really well, and the project is done, and there's a storage for chains. And yeah, the project is now complete-ish. So another one for the books.